happy, sad, tense, sad नहीं tense happy। ओए ठीक है कर रही है क्योंकि हम जिस चीज का 3 साल से वेट कर रहे थे वो हो गया है। खजाना So guys, this is the moment we have been waiting for 3 years, and finally we have received something that we were waiting for. Why are you excited, huh? Yes, happy, very happy, and also very much in worries that what to do next. Assalamu alaikum guys, what's up? How is life going on? I know it's been too long since we last met. Welcome to our channel once again. Actually, I want to apologize first that I could not make any video for this long time. Actually, many things were happening during this course of time in my life, so I was not able to come up in front of the camera and make videos about it. But today I finally got a chance to meet you guys again, and I would like to share those moments and those incidents that happened during this time in my life. So actually what happened was, me and my family has recently moved to Canada, and this journey started long ago, almost 3.5 years ago, when I applied for Canadian PR. Today I will share the whole journey, the whole process with you as well. So if in the end, if you guys still feel there's some information is missing and you would like to have me for help, or if you want to ask some questions from me, I will be happy to answer. So let's start this video. I hope you will enjoy this informative. So actually, first I would like to discuss what kind of things you need in order to apply for the immigration process, in order to apply for the permanent residency of Canada. The first and foremost thing is that you need, and you will require, that is the score of files. The better the score of files will be, the better your score will be, because this is the only thing that you have in hand and you can control it. And you must try your own very best to improve the IELTS score, because that happened to me as well. I will share that later in the upcoming story, later in the story. And the second thing is, you should have at least 2 years of work experience in order to apply and in order to be eligible to be a Canadian PR applicant. Third foremost thing that you will require is the VEST process. VEST is something that helps you to assess your degrees, to make it like compatible or equivalent to the Canadian degrees that you have. So they are just like an assessment or authorization agency that will help you to assess your degrees. The next and the last part is your age. If you are in a good age, you may get full marks for that, but as soon as you cross that point, you start losing the points, right? So make sure you apply in the right age bracket. Otherwise, if you cross that age bracket, by each year you will start losing 5 points each per year. So make sure to keep that in mind. So these are the 4 basic things that you will need in order to apply and to achieve good scores in Canadian PR application. So now I would like to share my journey with you guys, that how I started the process and what happened to me during this course of time. So it all started back in 2019 when I was in Shanghai with my family, and it's all started with the thought coming in my wife's mind that, what are we doing here? We should apply for some place that can give us some residency or some nationality at least. So Canada was a good option. There were other options as well, like New Zealand or Australia, but they were on the lower priority for us. So Canada was the first higher priority. So we decided to go for that. Initially, I hired one agent that she promised me to follow up in my process, and she will do everything. I just need to prepare the documents. And initially, when she created my VEST account, I realized that involving an agent is only increasing the processing time that is involved. So I decided later to take everything in my hand and try to process everything by myself. So I requested the agent to give me my West account details, and later I will process everything by myself. She did it. She was kind enough to give me the details, and we halted that agent process there. And from there on, my own research and my own journey started. First of all, what we did is I tried to complete my West process, in which I was able to process my West degrees, my bachelor's and my master's. Initially, they require the complete subject-wise, the complete degree-wise assessment, and in the later stage, they will require you to give subject-by-subject assessment of each subject that you have taken in the courses. The next important thing was to create the express entry profile. So as I was preparing for the West, I was also started preparing for my IELTS examination, because I knew that IELTS test will play an important role in the calculation of the marks, CSR score that we call. So I knew if I have to get good score, I have to get the good IELTS score as well. So I prepared with my wife. We prepared together because she was also willing to take tests to increase the points as well. As I was preparing for IELTS, I already used the CSR tool, calculator tool, through which I knew these are the minimum IELTS marks that I need to acquire in order to be in a position to apply to be eligible for the PR application. But I took the IELTS 4 times, but each time I was not able to achieve the required scores. Every time I was getting 6.5 in my writing, and I was not able to improve that. But others, listening, reading and speaking was fine, but for the writing part I was not able to improve that. But if I could have achieved 7 band in the writing, I could have easily jumped 400 marks at that time, where the invitations were being carried out 400 plus or 430 also. But without the writing part, with the 6.5 IELTS writing score, I was able to only achieve 396 marks, which was not enough. So I was getting a little disappointed. So I started searching for other options that I could have in order to achieve my good mark. So meanwhile, I was searching for other options to which I could apply, or I could gain some extra points to achieve that minimum level in the application process. I was not able to get it through the normal process. So I started searching for other alternatives. During this time, I was already able to create the express entry profile. I already put my experience in it. I already showed my IELTS score in it, and cumulatively I was achieving 396 marks, which was not enough. So during that time, I also heard there are some PNP programs, provincial nomination programs, that could also help you. So at that time, this idea just clicked in my mind and thought it can be a good option. So I started searching for the PNP programs which I was eligible for, and luckily I found a program as called SINP, Saskatchewan Provincial Nomination Program, which was at that time requiring my skill set, and it was in the in-demand skill set list. My NOC code was in the in-demand list of that province. So without any further delays or further investigation, I just went ahead and applied for SINP, which was luckily good for me, because as soon as I applied, they started like the emails coming back and forth, and they started communicating with me that we will require some licensing, and everything else was okay. So as soon as I provided my license, they gave me the invitation, and they accepted my application for SINP. And this is how I got extra 600 marks that played a crucial role in my express entry application process. So at that time, I applied for SINP without further ado, and in few days I got response from them that your profile looks good, but they still require some licensing for my field, that without that they will not be able to process my application. So I have to get that licensing, I have to get that exam, I have to pay that fees to get that license, and then I have to send it to the Saskatchewan government so that they can process my application further. It took me 6 months around to get my license for that particular application, And as soon as I sent that licensing information to Saskatchewan government, within few days they gave me a response that my application has been accepted. And that was a moment of which I could not believe ever. That this was the moment that could give me those 600 extra points that could make my express entry profile eligible for an ITA. So without any further delays, I accepted that offer. Those 600 points got entered into my express entry profile, and within 1 week, I received the ITA from the Canadian government. ITA means invitation to apply, in which they think that you are an eligible candidate, and you may send them their application for the further processing. After which they will decide whether you are eligible to come to Canada or not. After submission, there was a span of time where some bad things happened, and I don't think that was only me who suffered from that. Actually, whole world suffered from that. World suffered from that because the COVID came into the existence and it affected. So the same thing happened to my application process as well. And wherever the COVID went, it stopped all the process for me and my application. Because I was living in China, so they appointed me the office, Hong Kong office, to process my application. And at that time, Hong Kong was completely shut down for any businesses or for any application processes. So it was a long time when Hong Kong did not respond to us. And let me tell you in the beginning how long it took me to complete the application process, and in how much time I got my response from the Canadian government. It took me almost 3 years, more than 3 years, to get my response back from the government. So these are the little bits that happened during all this time. First, my application, the visa office was in Hong Kong. The Hong Kong shut down because of COVID, and when I got the re-medical request, then there was a complete lockdown in Shanghai and we could not go out as well. And when we received the request for passport submission, at that time also the Shanghai was in lockdown as well. That took almost 2 months for us to submit the documents and to get back the visa stamp. So that also caused us a lot of time. And once we received our passports back, we decided, okay, this is enough of it. We are no longer going to stay here. I just quickly resigned from my job and I booked the tickets and I went back home to Pakistan to just to fly next from there to Canada. And this is all my complete journey. And I hope I have covered many things in it, but there are still many questions wobbling out in your minds. So I will be happy to answer them all. You can always reach out to me and I will be happy to answer your questions. And even if you need some help in the process as well, I will be glad to help you guys. These days, coming to Canada has become a big dream for almost every person, because they want to dream for a big and successful and peaceful life, a good life, I would say. So I wish you guys all the success, whoever is applying for this. And if you guys need any help, I am always available for you guys. Wish you guys luck very much.